A lot of vendors don't get dragged because of their customers are wicked. They get dragged because they didn't meet up to the standard at which they have portrayed to their customers. That is why they get dragged. Not necessarily like the vendors, the customers hate them. And this is why structure is necessary. Some business outgrow a certain type of capacity as soon as possible. Dragging comes from overpromising, understructuring, and ego-driven growth, not without talent. It doesn't matter if the person has talent or not, but dragging comes from majorly these three. So most of the reasons why vendors get dragged is because of they outgrew their structures. Volume without structure does not lead to growth. It leads to exposure. Every business has the capacity that they can handle, no matter how small, no matter how big. A small business can handle a certain type of capacity. A big business can handle a certain type of capacity. And if their exposure outgrow their structure or their capacity, that is where the problem of dragging can come in, because the customer now is not actually getting what he or she ordered from that supplier or from that vendor, or what is promised is not what is delivered. Do you get why dragging down is very common? If you say like you can handle 1,000 or 100 orders, ask yourself, who processes them? Who confirms payments? Who tracks delivery? Who accepts complaints? That is what you need to ask yourself. If you're working on your own, you don't need 1,000 orders or you don't need 100 orders. It's whatever that you feel like you can handle in your mind. And also, what happens sometimes is actually because of people don't really like to pay people or find work, or maybe they think that, oh, they don't want to split their profit into two and give it out for somebody else to do it or something like that. It is not nice, and it will not allow you grow as much as you can grow, as much as you want to grow. If you think that you can handle all the work alone, you will burn out quickly. So let me explain this thing for you now to understand it. Working alone can mean differently. If you are working alone and also structuring yourself, you can actually meet up to a certain amount of order, but not so much, than somebody who is working alone and does not even have an idea of where to start. Let's take myself for example. I have been praying for like massive orders. And in my head, I'll ask myself, if this order come in, how am I going to go about it? And I start planning things. And I start structuring people. I might not have gone to meet somebody and be like, oh, how much do you charge for weekend? Or how much do you do this? How much do you do that? I already have it in mind that I will know what to do when that amount, or when that kind of massive order comes in. I will know when to tell my clients that this is also when you're going to get your hair, or this is at the end of the month, or something like that. This is the week they were going to deliver the hairs, or this is this. Like, I've already structured it in my mind. So I am actually different from somebody who all of a sudden you just had that order. You have no preparation at hand. Your branded bags are not even complete. The next thing you see that the orders that came in are more than the tools that you have. You don't even know where to start from. You get that? But somebody who is prepared beforehand, before meeting those orders, will know how to figure themselves out no matter how the orders come in. You already know that, okay, you have people around you. You start using them. It does not matter if you have to split your money, but what you need to know is that you have to put that thing in place, that your customers are getting what they want. Then from there, you now start planning on how to get a proper structure. Because sometimes some people don't plan visibility. That is just how it is. And then when it comes, it's very overwhelming. Sometimes they close down the business. And then when it comes, some people start to get dragged from that moment, because it is not what they ordered that you are expecting. And the orders was delayed. And on top of it, when they got it, it was not what they wanted that they got. You get that now. So I try as much as I can to always put it in my head that I will not always remain small. There will be a time in my life that something like this will happen. What would I do when that time happens, or when that time comes? What would I do when that time comes? Thinking that way will also help you to start planning your structures, to start planning things around you. If it's a few things that you can get, if it's your branded bags, your logos, your gifts, things, just keep things in stock. Maybe start communicating with few stylists, ask them like, what do they do? How do they style? Things like that. So monitor people that you know that they're good at their job, because some stylists are not really good at their jobs. So then they'll not gonna spoil your customers' heads for them. You understand? Start tracking people that know how to do the job well in your location. That is how to meet demand when it comes. If you know that, okay, you're just like still stepping out there. This is a secret that people don't talk about a lot. So some people just meet it and then they're drained. So they'll be like, nobody told us this. We don't know how to handle it. And then they burn out. So this is a tip for you. A lot of people chase crowd, viral shoots, massive orders. But crowd without structure breeds loopholes. Crowd without structure breeds loopholes. You have unattended orders, you have unfinished processing, like things that are not supposed to be there will be there. not what your customer, the satisfaction that you promised your customer is not what she's going to get. And then people come and be like, come out on social media and be like, oh, this is not what I ordered. This is what I ordered from this person. This is not what I ordered. Because you didn't have the time to take a look at those products to see if actually that is what the customer ordered, to confirm again before sending out. You see all those things. So when you are working alone, you don't have time to actually do all those things. You won't burn out at the same time. If you don't have good structures around you to confirm all those things, you will not know about those things. The customer sees it. Then when the customer comes out and says it, you become surprised. You be like, that you didn't know how this thing happened, but you don't want to come out and say it on social media because come on, you are the one that packaged the order. So how come you didn't know that this thing happened? Then even if that thing happened, your tone at which you used to reply to your customer is another way they can actually tell if you really know what you're doing. Because the wrong tone will trigger the wrong thing. That is just one thing, and that is why people are dragged a lot. If you don't know how to embrace yourself or brace yourself for situations like that, some customers will set it as trap for you to make sure that they bring down your business since you don't have sense. That is what it is for you. Business can be different ways, so you need to brace yourself. You cannot satisfy everybody, but as much as you can, make sure that you are on average. That a lot of people can attest to the fact that you really know what you're doing. So by the time you have a lot of people backing you up, then you will know how to meet those kind of clients. You try to find a way to compensate them. That is how to actually keep clients, not necessarily, oh, we didn't know that this thing happened. No, you have to take accountability of your mistakes first. Tell customer that, okay, you are sorry that this happened. Is there a way we can replace it? Or is there a way you can bring it back for restyle or something like that? That is a way to actually bring your customers to not freak out in situations like that. Crowd exposes your weakness faster than quiet growth ever will. What structure does is that it knows or it shows you the amount of people that you can work with. You don't have to work with everybody. In as much as your products are in high demand, you don't need to work with everybody, because you also have to give them what they ordered as promised, the customer service that they are predicting, you get. And then all other useful things that they found before they want to patronize your brand. So if they buy from you and then see that what you're giving them is different from the customer service down to the product that they got, nothing says anything good about you, then your business is at the verge of failing. Especially if it's not one person that's saying it, like multiple people are saying it. You have to restructure yourself. You have to find a way to tell your customers, this is this, so please, we are unavailable at this moment, or we are sold out. The goods will be coming in so date, or you book beforehand that you want this. There's a way to actually make yourself scarce in a way that actually build more respect to your brand and actually draw people to be like, what is really this thing about this person? So why do people demand this product enough or a lot? They will actually be so curious that they will actually want to wait for that product. It does not matter if you're saying you're going to bring it in the next 2 months time. They will wait for the next launching. There's a way to handle business in a very unique way that nobody is going to take your place in the market. That is just the truth about it. You not knowing what you're doing and you not setting up a good structure for your business will just make you be like every other person in the business. There needs to be something outstanding. There needs to be something unique about your brand. That is just the truth about it. There needs to be something unique about your brand. So structure your business in the right way possible. If you cannot handle up to 1,000 orders at a go, then you divide it. You tell yourself, this week you want to handle only 100 orders. Every other person should wait, or they will be added in the pending list. This is why you need to get a lot of things. Normally, my brand has not gone to the point where I need to use a website, because there's nothing predictable about my brand, and there's no styling that will make me want to set up a website or something. So I have it in mind that there will be a point in my life whereby I will actually need those things. Not necessarily that I am avoiding them, but there will be a point in my life where I will actually need those things, and I'm preparing for those times. I am thinking about it, I'm jotting it down, I am getting myself ready for those times to come. So that when it comes, and I'll be like, oh please, who is doing this one? Oh please, I'll make research on those things. And see who is good at what they are doing. You get that? So when preparation meets opportunity, it will be like as if the person's life is going smoothly. But people will not know that before that time came, there was a preparation going on. When you prepare for something and it meets you, it is better than somebody meeting it unaware. When you meet something unaware, it pulls you back so much than when you meet somebody that is prepared for that kind of situation. The goal of structure is not to look big, but is to deliver well. The best service is not done by the loudest vendor, but by the most prepared one. Before asking for more orders, ask if your system can protect the people who trust you.